Yeah.
Hello guys, this video is going to be a follow-up to my previous weapon system analysis. This time we're going to be focusing on the negative aspects of the current weapon system. My reasoning for making this video is I've been playing a little bit of some other ARPGs to try and get my head into the game a little bit, and I've been realising that actually a lot of satisfaction from ARPGs comes from the creation process, and I think it's just human nature that if you're creating something you just get some satisfaction from it. What I have some beef with Inquisitor Martyr is that currently there is not a lot of customization in terms of playstyle. Now I do grant you're going to have visual customization, you're going to be able to change your inoculator, your armor series, etc, but your core weapon set is not very flexible. And add to this, once you've invested into perks and skills and abilities, you then limit your weapon sets available and you become even more tunneled into a certain category or playstyle. What I'm going to do is I'm going to suggest today that I don't think the devs need to change anything right this moment, but I think this is something they need to start being aware of that may become an obstacle further down the line. Players might start saying, actually I'm getting bored of this game. I don't think anyone's going to shout this out as being a major problem or issue, but I think it'll manifest as people saying, actually I've run out of stuff to do and it's just the combat's just lost its sort of fun for me. That's something that's going to happen probably after a few hundred hours, and that's something I think we can come up with some nifty little tricks to try and avoid. So I'm going to propose a little bit of a system they could implement into the crafting to give players a little bit more of a buzz when it comes to creating your own sort of thing. Picture this for a second. Picture you're at the crafting station and you've got a number of, let's call them ingredients, but they're components I guess. You're going to put them all into making a heavy bolter. Obviously that's going to determine the damage, the rarity and all of this stuff. But I'm going to propose that on a couple of the abilities you get a choice between what that specific ability does. Let me give you a couple of examples of what I'm thinking, so we can basically toggle a couple of these abilities between choice A and choice B. Let's take the 1 and 2 ability for the heavy bolter, because realistically on most weapons the left and right click, they're all just trash clearing abilities. There really is no need to customise these, they're quite core to the weapon. But the utility and the AoE and the other interesting stuff is always on ability 1 and 2. So if you could customise these, it could get a lot more interesting. Let's look at the heavy bolter. So ability number 1, you slowly walk backwards while laying down some fire. Why not give the player the option of having the carry handle orientated in such a way that you could actually walk forwards and fire? I know that might sound a bit ridiculous, but hey, I would love to do that. That would look really, really cool and loads of fun. Yes, it might not be very practical in a lot of boss fights, but hey, it could give you something that feels like, this is what I want to do, this is my choice. Let's take ability number 2. We use another ammo type with ability 2 to lay down some explosive fire. Why not exchange that for incendiary rounds? So we do some burning damage instead, or maybe even crack rounds, so we can do some extra armor penetration with this. I grant you it's a sort of flesh-eating weapon, so it's not designed to be armor penetrating, but why not give players a little bit of flexibility with each weapon? None of this stuff is against the law. There are lots of different ammo types for weapons, and I think there's lots of opportunity for these things to be customised slightly. Let's run through another example, just so if you think I'm going a little bit mad, you can follow me and you can see if this makes any sense at all. So let's now look at the plasma cannon. I'm going to stick to heavy weapons for the most. I've been playing those a lot recently, so I know them a little bit better off the top of my head. So ability number 1, you just do a quick blur splurge AoE shot at the enemy. Why not reduce the damage of that with our toggle and instead apply a slow or some form of short stun? Really easily sort of explained to the player by, you're just swapping the plasma cores around for another older type that's less reliable but does blah blah blah. There is lots of different options you could do here to make it have, or make the player have a choice. Option number, or rather ability number 2, you do a AoE fire. I think you fire 3 or 4 shots that do sort of an aerial bombardment of an area. Why not exchange that plasma for another type of plasma that doesn't damage on impact, but instead leaves a pool of crippling, slows the enemy, etc., and does slow damage over time, etc., etc. I'm not proposing that they do massive changes to these weapons, but I do think giving a player some choice over their plasma cannon could be a very useful way of giving players some sense of personalisation, customisation and freedom within the game. Now, some of you may be thinking, wow, I'm having loads of fun at the moment. The thing is, this isn't something that's going to be necessary for a while, but I do honestly believe that slowly players will start to say, hey, I'm running out of oomph here in the combat, and further down the line there's going to be issues. I think there's other alternatives to how we could do this. We could have the equivalent of legendary items that you often see in ARPGs as well that have unique effects. So I could have let's say they implement helmets, I really hope they do. I could have a legendary helmet, and that helmet could make all of my aim skills do extra damage, but not do any limb decapitation or something like that. There's loads and loads of potential options. You could make stuns last longer but do less damage. You could make slows more powerful but last shorter. You can do anything potentially, and I don't think they need to go into full skill customizing for players. I think that's way too far and not suited to the Warhammer series, but some customization really I think will be required so players feel like they've made a choice and that choice has led to a play style. Because currently I've only been playing the game probably for 100 to 200 hours. I know they're putting more and more weapons in, and that's great. I play through them, but then to be honest, I get a little bit... I never feel like I'm playing me. I'm just playing a character that has these abilities. So again, I don't want them to go down the route of Elder Scrolls and have a completely customization sort of character, but give us a couple of options with each weapon, maybe with the crafting system, or maybe via a relic weapon system. Again, there's loads of different ways it could do this, but I'd like to know what you guys think here. Is this something you're looking for within the game? Are you happy at the moment? Have you got bored yet of the weapons? What do you think? Let the devs know in the comments down below. I guarantee they do read this, and they will take this feedback on board, so please voice any concerns that you have to them, okay? I will see you guys next time. Remember to subscribe, catch up with all the latest content as it comes out. Patch coming soon, remember. See you guys next time.